Sweet, I see a cloud. Good morning, evening, afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another burn down meeting for the Kubernetes 1.18 release. I will be your host today, Jorge. Like always, I have to mention whenever we start one of these things that we are on under the Kubernetes Code of Conduct, which essentially boils down to please be nice and kind to each other at all times. If someone will be kind enough to take the honorable place of note taker, please put down your name under week 11, March 17, 2020. And with that, let's get rolling with enhancements. Kirsten, please take it over.
So it's the same as yesterday, and it's green, so we're doing pretty good. And that's my brief update. I see, is Jeremy typing something? Oh, he's writing same as yesterday, yeah. I was just making sure, Jeremy. But yeah, so we're green and good. Bye.
Sweet, good news, always appreciated. Does anyone have any comments, questions for enhancements?
I have one. I want to give a shout out to everybody on the enhancements team. I have a fever and headache, so like I'm not feeling super great. And yesterday was way worse. And they were super awesome and organized who's going to do the updates for the rest of the time, and taking the lead on that. So I just wanted to give everybody a shout out.
Gonna jump on that train. To everyone on the enhancements team, thank you so much for all the work that you all do. And get better, Jeremy, please, we need you. With that, CI signal, Nico.
All right, so, okay, we are green since we don't have any failing job in master blocking's dashboard, or just 8 flaky jobs that are being reported by Desgrid. In master informing, we have these 2 Windows jobs. There have been some updates. I think, Jorge, did you update the doc with what actually happened with those jobs? The jobs were, okay, I'm going to explain in short. The jobs were totally broken, and we thought that the problem was because pods were unable to start in Windows nodes. That was fixed, but the jobs continued to fail, and it seems that there has been a bus flake in a bus script. So that was fixed as well. So those jobs seem that are being healed, like slowly. And one of them, the 2019, is it got back to the original error that we had with, and we're still waiting for the 6 CLI response. We have another job that is failing, the scale correctness. I just opened the issue today. Yeah, and yeah, we need to keep an eye on it, but it's really hard because this is running once per day, and since we don't have any rerun permissions, so we can test the fix or whatever. So I'm going to ping the Maciej later on in our Red Hat Slack to push him to take a look, and hopefully they're going to fix it, right? Okay, so the release MISC, we have this CI Kubernetes backup job that is failing again, and it was an attempt to fix it was with this PR that I linked in the talk, and the change that we did here is that they changed it the interval from 1 hour to 12 hours. So because the job initially was failing because of some extinct quotas, and the attempt was to make the job to have some more resources to gain, right? We have in 1.18 blocking, I see this note that you added as well, George. There have been like a breaking change in the February patch set for Windows that broke containers, and it's since been fixed in the March patch set, but the fix requires tests to also be updated. So this is really messed up, right? And in 1.18 informing, we have these 2 Windows jobs which is like the same with the master informing, and there is another one, the AKS engine Azure 1.18 Windows job that is under investigation. That's failing as well. Nothing in flake jobs. Actually, there were like two main issues that we had yesterday, but those seems to be fixed. I closed one of those, and the other one was the verify 1.18, but they seem not to flake. We'll continue monitoring, of course, as well. Okay, so any questions? And I guess that George, you have some comments for the notes that you added.
First off, I saw Lucky post a comment. Do you want to say something?
No, I'm working on just getting somebody, one of the chairs from SIG Windows, to come and talk through this. But there is action on the back end, and I'm trying to have them at least formulate one sentence answers as to what the resolution is. But there are people working on this, and I'm just trying to get them to ping on the right pulses upstream so that you're getting the signal. But I was going to invite Patrick Lang would routinely come and attend burn downs, and I'm trying to coax the new chair into joining. So I tried to do that late afternoon and just didn't have cycles to follow up this morning. So I'm trying to keep a lid on this situation. So thank you. And I'm also expressing the urgency back to them. So thanks for all your patience in working on this. And I understand that you're being very patient. So feel free to ping me and push me if needed, George.
And with that note, will do. And thank you so much for everything that you're doing, because also to add context, Nico, all the comments that I added on the meeting notes, I got them from Lucky. So so all the Windows people have definitely been doing a lot of work, and things are.
Yeah, they're confident they have it. The code has been fixed. The tests need to be changed, and the tests need to be changed across all cloud providers to get back to green. So that's apparently the state of play.
So it's not as bad as it could be, and it's getting
well, yeah, there is hope in sight. They have a resolution, but it just takes time for all the providers to update the tests, is what I'm told. But they apparently are in concert talking to the folks at Google to get the GCP test green again.
Okay, sounds good. So on that note, does anyone have any more comments, questions for CI Signal? I hear silence, so thank you very much, Lucky, Nico, and CI Signal team. And moving on to bug triage with Marky.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Bug triage is, current status is red. We are trending to yellow, but we've had a slight uptick. Open non-test flakes, we are down 2 to 4 from yesterday. Priority critical urgent, we are at 3, which is down 2 from yesterday. We have had no change in priority important soon. We remain at 0. For open KKPRs, we are holding steady at 5. Priority critical urgent, we have went up 1. We are at 1. And that is a note which is 891.66. Priority important soon PRs, we are holding steady at 4, and open KK is remaining, we are down 2 to 24. We are continuing to ping people. I have gone through and done a lot of pinging this morning, and I know other members of the team have done so as well. That is all from bug triage, and if anybody has any questions, I will be glad to answer.
Does anyone have any questions? Sweet. Thank you very much, Marky, and whole bug triage team for saving the date, for actually saving the date this morning with the newly found bug fixes that needed to go in 1.18. And with that in mind, let's move on to docs. Binet.
Hi, everyone. This is Savitha. I will be providing the docs update today. The overall status hello, and the major change from yesterday to today is the in review PRs came down from 7 to 1, and we do have 1 PR at risk. We haven't received any updates from them. I guess we have reached out to them, reached out to SIG API Machinery personally, and still awaiting response. So would you like to do anything on that, Jorge? Or other than that, no updates. So
Okay. So Joe, let me check out the things really quick. So in review, you have a node that can be merged by end of day today, assuming end of day Pacific. And this is a SIG API machinery one. Certificate signing request doc updates. Just to double check, this one, being really technical here, but this one is 1 day past the deadline. Why did you all decide to allow to leave it in?
sorry, can you
So
repeat the last sentence again? Sorry.
yeah. So being super technical here is just asking out of curiosity. The PR that's under review, certificate signing request doc updates. The deadline for docs was yesterday.
Yep.
What was the reason for letting this one come through?
So yesterday, we had some good to have review comments. Like we had some good to have. Like without them also we were about to merge. But so I just gave couple of hours. So it was like if they do it, I just we can come up with new styling changes. If not, like it was in a healthy state, so I didn't give much attention to it. But today also I see LGTM from technical review as well as from docs. So I'm just waiting for. Another check from SIGDocs. So yeah, I don't think it might cause us issue, but this one, the no response one is causing us issue from yesterday. So still no response on that. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Just wanted to double check that and okay, so that's that. The one that you mentioned that is a no response that is add pointer to API server network proxy feature, and this one they are just updating some existing documentation. Have they replied? The author of this PR, has he, she, they replied in any way, shape, or manner?
No, I personally reached out to the docs placeholder owner today. So his name is Kyo. So in Slack, but I didn't get any response back. I also reached out to the enhancement as well, also on the SIG API missionary, but I don't see any response till now. Yeah.
Okay. So usually no response is not the best thing in the world, but seems like the documentation is already there and they are just adding some additional comments and formatting fixes, patches. Okay, cool. So I guess for this one, we'll just check, we'll keep checking on it on Slack and get some comments from API, from SIG network, I guess, if there is anything else we need to look into the docs for this enhancement. Does anyone have any other comments, questions?
Since it's past the deadline, do we want to make these formally request an exception to the deadline?
Bineth, if you have some thoughts on this, welcome. But at least on my end, that is the thing that I want to. That is the thing that I want to double check. I'm not sure if this is like a critical documentation. You definitely need to do this, or just we're fixing we're fixing the docs and just making them look a little bit better.
It's just a smaller knit. So I already see a technical LGTM as well as another LGTM. So I don't think this signing request one is a major one. So I just seen like 10 minutes back also there was some changes within the PR. So yes, like the other one is really in risk, with the SIG API missionary one. Please do.
Just to double check on this, because it usually just happens with enhancements and code. Does anyone know of, does anyone have more context on asking for exceptions when people don't finish their docs in time?
I have not been a part of a release where we did that, at least that I recall.
Yeah, neither have I. My general, my feeling right now is that, at least for the SIG API machinery one, the one that's in review, I wanna echo what Binet say, and they're working on it. Seems to be more or less approved. So just let it go through the gate. The no response one, I guess double check and see how connected it is to the rest of the documentation for the enhancement. If it's just a fix up, then possibly just let it be. If it's something, some critical piece of documentation, then yeah, not sure on the latter case. But yeah, something we can figure out later after this call. Does anyone have any more comments, questions for docs? Sweet. So Binet, Savitha, thank you very much. And thank you very much to the rest of the docs team. Release notes, Ray.
Hello, so our status is still green. No change from yesterday. The PRs for patch and draft release notes for 1.18 beta 2 have merged and waiting for RC1. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions, comments for release notes? If not, we can move on to comms. Karen, are you on the line?
I am. We're yellow. Still a few more things moving around. So SIG CLI will not be able to deliver a blog, but now SIG Autoscaling has offered to write a blog. So I made a list of the current groups that we're still waiting to hear back from. So there should be one from SIG Node, 2 from SIG API Machinery, 1 from SIG Network, and then SIG Autoscaling, which is the new one. And still working on the release blog itself. And then yesterday I opened an issue to discuss the limited timeline for dev teams to deliver blog content, and it is linked there. Feel free to chime in if anyone has any ideas. And yeah, that's where we're at.
Quick question. What happened with 6 CLI?
Max, I believe, is on the call. Do you have an update there on any specific responses?
So they just, I pinged out to the guys and got the feedback that they are not see the big chance that they can deliver something on time regarding a blog post.
But everything else is fine, right? Like they'll make their caps for 1.18. Okay, yeah.
What's a deadline again for?
So CNCF is asking for drafts now, and so I just gave the hard deadline of having a blog draft by tomorrow, so we have some time for reviews. Yeah.
You can completely say no to what I'm about to ask, but could you ask the CNCF whether they be open to having a blog post for sometime after? I'm just making up the time frame, but sometime in the coming weeks to have more to possibly have more things from at least 6 CLI and whatever other 6 want to do it.
Are you asking to? So I think so there's like the main release blog, and then there are the feature blogs. So are you asking that we just do the release blog like when we release 1.18 and then delay the feature blogs by like another week to try and get content?
No, so all the blogs that you already have planned, awesome. Just keep working on them with the same time frame. But I was wondering if we could ask the CNCF to, besides all the blogs that we already have planned, to give the possibility to write a feature blog for some time down the road that is completely separate from all of the ones that we already have.
Oh, I see. Okay, so like you still want SIG CLI to have something, but not necessarily part of this bundle that will be in the next few weeks. But
Yes.
like, okay, got it. Okay, yeah, I can ask them.
Okay, sweet.
Okay.
I mean, at least I think it will be interesting to definitely hear from all the SIGs and whatever they are doing.
Sure.
Does anyone have any more comments, questions for comms? If not, release branch management. Is there anyone from release branch on the team, on the call? If not, I think I can give the update. The last fast forward for this release cycle was on this morning, US. And at some point, code tie is just going to happen. Whenever that actually happens, it's going to be up to the discretion of Carlos and Sasha. They have to merge a PR in test infra, I believe. But last time I checked, plan is for sometime today. Code tie will begin, and the master branch of Kubernetes will be open for the public. Does anyone have any comments, questions that you all want to pass on to Carlos or Sasha? Looking at the comments, but I hear silence. So moving on to Emeritus Lead, Lucky.
Thank you. Nothing specific from me today. Thanks, George. Just I need to work with you to get the retro scheduled, and there's a few other bumps on Secession. That's it. Thanks.
Sweet. So, and I'm just talking to myself right now. Okay, so need to work on the retro.
So retro, we just need to make sure we've got it on the schedule, on the calendar, and we need to make sure we have somebody to moderate it. And Secession, I'm going to ping all the leads and just make sure that they're preparing to think about their nominations for 1.19 set of leads. And I also, the other thing is I just need to open up the survey results to the leads as well. Sweet. They were the 3 things I had. Thank you.
So I guess talking about succession, at some point there's going to be a succession issue in SIG release, right?
Yeah, so I will be opening one fairly soon, probably towards the end of the week. And then we'll go there. It's always my moral quandary of pushing everybody. I like to let the release get to the point and not worry, have everybody start to think about the next release until we kind of get this one out the door. But, you know, I suspect either late this week or early next week, it will post. And then we already have the lead locked in, as you mentioned yesterday, for 1.19. So from there, then we can start to do that. But we need to just make sure that people are thinking about it on the team currently.
Okay, sweet. Wanted to ask.
Try not to distract from the momentum you already have, but you know, I'll slot in there.
Thank you. Just wanted to make double check on the time frame.
No, absolutely.
Does anyone have any more comments, questions for wonderful Emeritus Lead?
I do. This is going back to the one docs thing that they haven't gotten a response on. Looking over it, it looks like just pretty minor formatting issues. Personally, I think, you know, anyone with right access to the K website repo, essentially any of the maintainers can edit the PR. I would just go ahead, do that, commit the formatting changes, and call it done. Or formatting suggestions.
Okay, thanks for the solution, Bob.
Yeah, thank you. And that was, yeah, I think that idea sounds good.
George, the other update is we had one other certificate signing request one in review, right? I was just telling like we will get it merged by end of the day. I just got it merged. So the only one outstanding one is the one Bob was mentioning. Yeah.
So based on what Bob just mentioned, do you think you'll be able to get it merged or work with one of the chairs from SIG Docs to get it merged?
Yeah, I can work on it. So as long as we have a technical LGTM, I think styling and other things can be handled by us.
Yeah, that was the thing that I wasn't really sure on whether there was more technical detail that was needed or just a couple formatting comments at the top. But sounds like we Possibly have a way for
Double check. We're talking about 19216, right?
Yes, 19216. Yes.
Yeah. So I think that can just be apply these style changes and call it good. And if we need to make any other changes, we can just do that in post.
Okay. Okay. Sounds like a plan. Yeah.
Great. Thank you for taking a look at that one, Bob. Does anyone have any questions on docs or on emeritus lead? Thanks. If not, then we can move forward. So release lead things and scalability things, gonna mix them up. Milestones already mentioned that, but docs, as we mentioned, working to getting them complete. Quota is gonna happen at some point today. I believe Carlos just pinged me with the PR that needs to be merged in order for that to happen. Release candidate, getting ready to get that one out sometime today, and I'm fixing the notes right now because I had it for tomorrow. And given that quota is going to happen, that leaves us with the same cherry pick deadline of this Thursday. Hopefully between today and Thursday, the tide pool is going to go down and allow for whatever cherry picks we need to be properly tested. And as Lucky mentioned, we need to work on scheduling the retro, finding someone from CountryX to do to do that for us. And scalability updates. Also, another AI that I need to put down is we need to reach out to scalability to ask for more feedback between SIG release and scalability on whatever Go versions are being tested for performance regressions and anything of the sort. Does anyone have any comments, questions on milestones or anything else release team related? Sweet. If not, we can end this call early. Thank you very much for attending. And as I mentioned, I'm gonna stop recording. But if anybody wants to stay in Zoom and hang out, SIG release is not gonna have a call for the rest of the day, so people can just stay here, and chat. But I'm gonna stop recording right now, and thank you very much for everyone for attending. See ya.